We are at the Volunteer Hub on Brisbane Street in Murba, underneath the old Regent Cinema Theatre. And yeah, this is where we've been coordinating our volunteers who have come in to lend a hand for all our flood affected peeps in the Wollongbar. And we are linking them up with the appropriate services that they need. We've got tradies here, we've got psychologists and trauma-informed counsellors here, we've got just manpower to move furniture, we've got food coming out of this place, and we've got the amazing donation centre next door as well. So this is kind of the meeting point for a lot of services.
So I guess what the kind of situation at the moment, and this has been over the last 7-8 days, is to agree just kind of checking in on the more outlying communities to make sure that they've got what they need to kind of get through this next little period until their roads are fixed, until their bridge crossings are fixed. So I mean, we've been kind of stringing up road bridges with this crew from like Brizzy and Kingscliff that are coming back down today. They were strung up some bridges across some really gnarly spots.
Most of the people, they don't want to leave their places because they don't have anywhere to go. So I mean, at the end of the day, this is going to help for a bit until they get the roads again going and they get the electricity back again, and hopefully this will help them out for until we get back to normal.
Yeah, they're pretty resilient people, and obviously this isn't the first kind of rodeo for them, but I guess this one's a little bit more extreme. So all we can really do is try our best to go to things we hear about and really just kind of offer help, kind of not force it, obviously not force it on people, but just kind of also let them know that they've got support, I suppose, is quite... Yeah. There's been a lot of people kind of like tear up when they see that there's people out there kind of willing to get in and help them. Yeah. But then there's also people that are completely self-sufficient and not interested in help, which is completely cool too.
Yeah. And what's like the general mission we're up to today?
So there is... I got a DM last night. That's another really interesting thing, is the way things are being briefed. We're getting just DMs from people in the know that have friends in communities, etc., etc. And there is a family that needs to move basically from one house that's kind of threatened by a landslide to a more safe location and help cut a path in.
It's being flooded in so heavily, the driveway has been cut off all the way through there, so they'd have to build their own path literally on the side of a mountain. They were up at like 6 this morning making stairs since they heard that we were coming through, so we can move all the stuff out of their house, and making these man-made stairs that work a fucking treat, just all the way through there. It's about 25 meters all the way to the top, and the boys are just trucking everything out of the house. Yeah, that's what this is here.
It's a grind.
It's the grind. It's the grind. It really is.
Easy, one down. Hang on.
Last but Everything but the kitchen sink. Holy shit! Boys! I think it's the croissant.
Oh yeah, g'day. I'm Clinton, and lived here with my partner, and we were decimated by the storm and displaced. So nothing like this has ever happened here before, and it's just all flowed through under the house. You can touch that roof now. The car would have been underwater straight away. That car, that would have been a river. A car up at the top of the hill there, that it's just amazing it's still there, because the driveway has got a 3-metre chasm through it, right through it now, which means that, and with cracks developing 3 metres away from each side, so it means that it will never ever be able to be used again. So we have to abandon the cars, and I feel really sick about the environmental impact, but you know, the thing is that I just thought we'd have to walk away, but this amazing friggin' team of volunteers came from Murwillumbah and just took the whole lot. I've got photos of them taking my big fridge up a steep, muddy incline to get it out of here, and that's just insane. I thought I would have to walk away, you know, without a lot of stuff, and I got it all from upstairs, you know. So wow, praise be. Praise be to people.
So the state of things here in Woodburn is essentially a week behind places like Mullumbimby and Lismore, because the water receded only a few days ago. So people are still clearing out houses. There's still mud everywhere. There is still a lot to do, and not as many people as we had last week. It's obviously midweek, so we have a lot less hands and boots on the ground in Woodburn. Woodburn is probably a lot worse than what I saw in Lismore in terms of the cleanup. There is so much mud. There are essentially dead cows everywhere, and the water is really, really toxic, so we're having issues with people's health now, and the volunteers, a lot of them are getting injured and a lot of them are getting sick, so we're trying to stay on top of that by providing first aid and directing them in PPE gear and things like that.
Woodburn Motel, and the owners a beautiful elderly couple that needs some help with like moving heavy stuff, so that's why we're here. We just went through, I don't know her name, but we went through a room.
Sandra.
We just went through Sandra's room, going through her clothes and stuff, but this was all underwater.
Yes, so basically she said this whole story was underwater. You can see the black mold at the top of the story. But everything she owns has to be thrown out now.
Sam just got swag.
How's it smell, Uly?
Fuck.
Oh, it's just build up of everything just settled into the carpet.
So, where do we go from here? That's a pretty loaded question, and I can only speak from personal experience and not behalf on everyone, but I kind of think it's to rebuild consciously. And I think that's conscious of our environment and our people, conscious of the fact that our community is subjected to the whims of political pantomime, but we definitely have a choice on how we allow ourselves to be governed. Conscious that after 2 years of divisive rhetoric, propaganda and division, but it only took one day to sew the seams of our society back together. And also conscious that although this region is home to an eclectic mash of big brains, free spirits, alternative and progressive thought, and fiercely independent souls, our destinies definitely intertwined, and our strengths, physically, mentally, and vocally, are undeniable when united.